turn me up, I got finishing moves, look. Salute when you see me. Slid through all the commotion, it's breaking news, they got an ad on TV. Popping out on them, a politicking, probably in a section where you not permitted. My honey's matching my Dodger fitted, playing all go, ain't no stopping in it.
We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field.
The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up
with the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They go play action. Mayfield. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. And Mayfield just getting the play off. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. A first carry for the Canadian-born Chuba Hubbard. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the counter, this is Hubbard. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
On the handoff, it's Hubbard.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Hubbard.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
On the give, this is Hubbard.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Love. That's complete. Okuegbuna.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Play action this time with Love.
Escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit.
McCann's kick up and good. And it's 3-0 Washington.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Vikings.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. 5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in this. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Mackenzie Alexander with a pick.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Mayfield on the bootleg. Rolling to his right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Here's Madison running on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Play fake. Mayfield under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Quiddy Pay in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Well, this one's knuckling, and it just does get over the crossbar. He didn't get much of it, but he got it to go. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the handoff, it's Madison.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there. Rosas now to add the PAT. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Here's Harris to return it. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
On play action. Love to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
On 3rd down, Love. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Washington going to send out their punter.
Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well. And he's been right.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a give to Madison. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He'll buy some time right. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Play fake. Here's Love. Flush to his right.
He'll get that complete to Alberto.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. Off the play fake, Love. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. After the sack on first down, Love. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that. Talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here. And then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward. That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on fourth down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
And Ron Rivera, he's going to keep the offense on the field. They're going for it.
Hey, 4-1 Mike, 4-1 Mike. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Love, they go play action now. Flushed out right. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy.
Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out.
And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Well, certainly not what they want. Out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have
Touchdown, Washington! A big play there. His second touchdown on the season.
And Washington has made this a one-score game. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure,
and the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jonathan Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. Sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run it with Madison, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas, and he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
This time, the extra point up and good, and that will put them on top here in the third. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Oh, a mistake there. The kickoff out of bounds.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Madison running left. Breaks through the contact, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 41 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
And the Vikings first down.
Back to the ground on 1st down. Here's Madison. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Going on the ground with Madison. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Steps away. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now Mayfield. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Here's Madison. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Going to run with Madison again. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. Smith catches left side. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 17-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run with Madison. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Brought down by the quarterback, William Jackson.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. Mayfield off the play fake. And it's caught. And he'll be out of bounds. So the PI decline, and that'll give them a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Mayfield keeps it himself. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Baker Mayfield, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. So now here are the Vikings faced with a big 2-point conversion attempt. Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead.
Washington 16.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. First down, Love to pass. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 7 yards, the pickup there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on second down. Love. Toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st and 10, Love. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Love looking to throw it. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
A 2nd down throw for Love. And that'll be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Washington on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Now Love. And he's got his target, Harris. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Love now. Steps away to his left. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll give this to Hubbard running right. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
Brings up 3rd and
5. Here's Love. Dancing to his left.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter, got to feel pretty good as a defense.
McCann's kick is good.
And that'll bring him back within 4.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Mayfield on play action. Out to his left. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Keon Crossan.
And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the interception, Love
checks this down to Hubbard.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, it's Hubbard. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
62 yards rushing for him now to this point.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run here with Hubbard.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Hubbard.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Love. Escaping the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick.
And the Vikings are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
The penalty gets them half the distance closer, but they'll still need to come up with something on 3rd and goal. Hubbard. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on the play of the game now. 4th and goal. Love fires that quickly outside. And he's going to be out of bounds, a few yards shy of the line to gain. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Mayfield to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and he will bring this one back. It is a pick-6 for a Washington touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
That's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Mayfield to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Keon Crossen. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick-6 for a Washington touchdown. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, Defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Here's Baker. Completes this to Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Mayfield. Flush to his right. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to do what we call flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Mayfield. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing